Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Devendra Mohan from Department of Physics, Guru Jambheshwar University of Science and Technology, Hisar in Haryana. We will be discussing about X-ray spectroscopy under the paper Atomic, Molecular and Laser Spectroscopy. After going through this model, we will be able to learn the origin of X-rays, emission spectra of X-rays, atomic number at the position of the emission lines, X-ray emission spectra, satellites, continuous X-ray emission, X-ray absorption spectrum. The origin of X-rays. X-rays are radiations in the electromagnetic spectrum of wavelength between 0.012 to 10 nanometer. These are characterized by index of refraction very near to unity for all materials, and electrons are emitted thermally from the heated cathode C and are accelerated towards the anode target A, which is a metal, by the applied potential V. When accelerated electrons strike the target, X-rays are produced. The face of the target is at an angle relative to the direction of electron beam, and the X-rays that leave the anode target pass through the side of the tube. The geometry of the X-ray tube is such that it evacuates to allow electrons to reach the target without any interruption, as has been shown in the figure. The X-rays are produced both by deceleration of electrons in the metal target and by the excitation of the core electrons in the atom of the target. The first process gives a broad continuous spectrum and the second gives sharp lines. When a moving electron is stopped suddenly, all its energy appears as photon of frequency nu of X-rays. The energy of an electron of charge E in dropping through a potential difference V is electron volt, and E is equal to h nu is equal to h c upon lambda is equal to E v, or we can derive lambda is equal to h c upon E, which is equal to h c upon E v. An electron does not lose all its energy in this way. It will have a number of glancing collisions with the atoms that it collides and causing them to vibrate. The temperature of the target increases due to this process. The minimum value of the energy is possible that accounts for the short wavelength cutoff. However, the larger wavelengths are more probable and thus the rapid increase in the intensity. The figure here presents the X-ray spectrum that result when molybdenum target is bombarded by electron at 35 kilo electron volt. The electron beam on striking the target gets deaccelerated, and also a small fraction of electron of the beam strikes the target and ejects the inner shell's electrons. The atom becomes unstable and outer shell electrons in the same atom drops into the hole or vacancy caused by the ejection of the electron. In this process, it loses energy and a photon is emitted. As E is a definite quantity associated with the electron energy change in the atom, the wavelength achieved is specific. Several wavelengths are possible and they constitute the characteristic X-ray line spectrum shown as peaks in the figure. The energy of the characteristic X-ray produced is very weakly dependent on the chemical structure in which the atom is bound, indicating that non-bonding shells of atoms are the characteristic X-ray source. The resulting characteristic spectrum is superimposed on the continuum. An atom remains ionized for a very short time of the order of 10 raised to the power minus 14 seconds. Thus, the incident electrons that arrive about every 10 raised to the power minus 17 seconds can rapidly ionize an atom, as not all outer incident electrons fall into holes to produce X-rays. Assuming that an electron from K shell is ejected and a hole is created in the shell, then an electron from the higher shell L, M, N, etc. makes a radiative transition filling the hole. The energy of the photon emitted is in the range from a few kilo electron volt to a few hundred kilo electron volt and thus lie in the X-ray region. The emission spectrum that results in a line spectrum forms a simple series. The lines originating from a K shell vacancy are called K alpha, K beta, K gamma lines and corresponding to L to K transition, M to K transition and N to K transition. K alpha is the strongest and the emission of K series is accompanied by other series. The vacancies are created in L, M, N shells as a result of lines of K series. Those are filled by M, N and shell electrons. Thus, K series may be accompanied by L, M, N and other series. These transitions can be shown on an energy level diagram. This is different from that used in the atomic spectra of valence electrons in the same sense that X-ray diagram gives the energy of the atom when one electron of the quantum number NLJ is missing. Thus, the diagram depicts the energy levels of a hole with quantum number NLJ that jumps from one subshell to the next when the atom emits X-ray line spectrum. The absence of an electron of negative energy means representation of a hole. The energy associated with the hole is positive. In the figure, the levels are also represented by capital letters K, L, M, N corresponding to N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively. X-rays can be classified as hard or soft depending upon the wavelength. The K X-rays are called hard and L radiation is soft, and M, N, O X-rays are very soft. M and L radiation arising from heavy elements are harder and are of shorter wavelengths than K radiation of lighter elements. K radiation of an element is more penetrating than that of L, M, N, O, etc. Emission spectra of X-ray. Spin, orbital and total angular momenta for every filled subshell or shell are 0. Suppose that one electron is removed from the closed subshell, then the allowed values of spin, orbital and total angular momenta for the rest of the electrons in the subshell are identical with those of the single electron that can complete the subshell. This infers that the states of NP1, ND1, etc. are same as that of NP5, NP9 and so on respectively. That is, the quantum number N, L and J of subshell with one missing electron are identical with those of an electron that completes the subshell. As only one electron is missing from the subshell, therefore S is equal to capital S is equal to 1 by 2 and multiplicity is 2, and the figure depicts the energy levels corresponding to various values of N. There are N minus 1 values of L for each value of N, and for each value of L there are 2 J values corresponding to J is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 and J is equal to L minus 1 by 2. As an example, for L shell, N is equal to 2, the L values are 0 and 1 and correspondingly J values are 1 by 2 corresponding to L is equal to 0 and 1 by 2, 3 by 2 for L is equal to 1. Thus, each N level splits up into 2N minus 1 components. In X-rays, shells are designated with N from 1 to 7 with letters K, L, M, N, O, P, Q respectively, and levels in each shell with Roman numerals in indices. The nomenclature of X-ray states is shown in the table for ready reference. As the table depicts, there are N values in the first column, and in the second column there are L values and then J values, then the designation of these states,
and then the states are denoted by 1s1 by 2, 2s1 by 2, 2p1 by 2, 2p3 by 2, 3s1 by 2, 3p1 by 2, 3p3 by 2, 3d3 by 2 and 3d5 by 2. A part of energy level diagram for X-ray emission spectrum indicating only K and L levels has been shown as. The figure is for n is equal to 1 and n is equal to 2 states and for the K shells. There is a transition from one excited state to another for emission of an X-ray line, and it is notable that both the initial and final states are excited. The emission of K line is due to transition of an electron level L to that of K, accompanied by emission of a photon whose energy is equal to the difference in energy between these levels. So, the selection rules for the transitions are delta L is equal to plus minus 1, delta J is equal to 0, plus minus 1. All the transitions between K and L levels are not allowed as per the selection rules, as L1 to K transition is not allowed, as delta L is equal to 0 is forbidden. One of the two allowed transitions is shown in the figure. The transition has been denoted by an arrow pointing in the direction of electron transition with emission of X-ray photon, that is from level L3 to level K.
The two allowed transitions between L and K levels are further given the name K alpha 1 and K alpha 2. The K alpha 1 is the intense line, while weaker is the K alpha 2. Similarly, K beta 1 and K beta 2 are designated. A similar system is used for gamma lines. So, the K alpha 1 line arises from a KL3 transition for the atom corresponding to the electron from L3 filling the vacancy in the K shell. The K alpha 2 line corresponds to electron from L2 filling the vacancy in the K shell. The statistical factor of L3 is 2j plus 1 is equal to 4, while that of L2 is 2, and therefore K alpha 1 is to be twice as intense as that of K alpha 2. Similarly, K beta 1 arising from K2M3 transition is twice as strong as K beta 2, which comes from K2M2 transition. And it is noteworthy that K alpha 1 and K beta 1 are not equally intense. The rule of proportionality to the statistical weight is good only for the intensity of lines very nearly the same energy.
Atomic number and the position of emission lines. Moseley in 1913 observed that the wavelength of characteristic X-ray lines shift continuously with the change in the element atomic number Z. He observed that with increasing Z, wavelength of X-ray decreases and hence the frequency of X-ray increased. A plot of square root of frequency versus Z gives a straight line. This increase in frequency with increase of Z is understood to be due to increasing binding energy of the electron with increase of number of protons in the nucleus. The electron energy ENL for a given n and L is given by ENL is equal to HCr Z star square upon n square, where Z star is equal to Z minus sigma NL is the effective charge of the nucleus and sigma NL is value of screening constant. The term value is T is equal to minus ENL upon SC is equal to RZ star square upon n square. For an emission line, the frequency denoted by centimeter inverse nu is equal to R into Z star square upon NF square minus ZI square upon NI square, taking Ni greater than Nf and sigma approximately constant for initial and final state, that is Zi star is equal to Zf star is equal to Z star. Nu bar is equal to Rz star square 1 upon Nf square minus 1 upon Ni square, where nu bar is equal to Rz square A, where A is 1 upon Nf square minus 1 upon Ni square, and nu bar upon R under the root is equal to Z star A under the root is equal to A under the root Z minus sigma NL, thereby replacing Z star is equal to Z minus sigma NL. This equation is known as Moseley law. This provided the information that where elements were missing from the periodic table and has led to the discovery of some of the elements. For K alpha line, NF is taken to be 1 and NI is equal to 2, and thus sigma is approximately 1 and 7.4 for K and L shells respectively. From the above equation, wavelength of K series is lambda is equal to 1 upon nu bar. For L series, it can be obtained by putting the suitable values of Z star and A. X-ray emission or the doublet spectra. An X-ray doublet is referred to the separation between adjacent X-ray terms of the same principal quantum number. The intervals that correspond to differences between levels with the same N, L and S but different J are called spin doublets, also called regular doublets. The frequency interval remains constant all through the spectrum of the same element but increases very slowly with rising value of Z. Examples of spin doublets are L2 to L3, M2 or M4 to M5, etc. The irregular doublets or the screening doublets are pair of energy levels having equal N and J but quantum number L differs by 1. The separation between lines remains constant for all the elements. The examples of screening doublets are L1 to L2, that is 2s1 by 2 to 2p1 by 2, M3 to M4, 3p 3 by 2 to 3d 3 by 2, M1 to M2, 3s1 by 2 to 3p 1 by 2, and so on. The explanation of the doublet separation is the following. The energy of a given level due to the Coulomb interaction of an electron with the nucleus and the energy of a level in the first approximation is given by En is equal to minus HCr Z star square upon N square is equal to minus HCr Z minus sigma 1 square upon N square, sigma 1 being the screening constant depending upon the value of L. The position of the energy level is given by a similar expression to that of hydrogen, thereby taking into account the correction due to relativistic effect and spin orbit interaction given by ENLJ is equal to minus HCr Z minus sigma 1 square upon N square plus HCr Z minus sigma 2 square upon N cube 3 by 4 N minus 1 upon J plus L by 2 with Z replaced by Z star. As the screening constant represents an average over ranges of effective Z value, therefore different screening constants for expression with different power of Z are expected. The screening constant sigma 2 is less than sigma 1 and the term value is TNLJ is equal to minus ENLJ upon HC is equal to R into Z minus sigma 1 square upon N square plus R into Z minus sigma 2 raised to the power 4 upon N cube into 3 by 4 N minus 1 upon J plus 1 by 2, and the doublet separation is therefore given by delta T is equal to R alpha square Z minus sigma 2 raised to the power 4 upon N3 L into L plus 1. Thus, the energy difference delta T given in centimeter inverse between regular doublets is proportional to the fourth power of Z minus sigma 2. The value of sigma 2 is independent of Z but depend on the orbit. Sigma 2 increases with the subshells going farther from the nucleus. It is reported that sigma 2 is equal to 3.5 for L2, L3 and 8.5 for M2, M3 and 13 for M4 and M5, etc. Ignoring the term in sigma square, T is equal to R into Z minus sigma 1 square upon N square. For the two levels A and B, TA under the root is equal to R under the root Z minus sigma 1 upon N corresponding to A, and TB under the root is equal to R under the root Z minus sigma 1 upon N corresponding to B, and sigma 1 is different in the two cases as A and B involve different orbits. So, delta T under the root is equal to Ta under the root minus Tb under the root is equal to R under the root upon n, sigma 1 B minus sigma 1 corresponding to A is equal to R under the root upon n delta of sigma 1, where delta of sigma 1 is the difference in screening constant and screening constant sigma 1 increases with Z.
Satellites. The lines in the X-ray spectra are often found to be accompanied by faint satellites. As these lines do not fit into conventional energy level diagram and are therefore called non-diagram lines, they occur usually on the short wavelength side of the diagram lines. The origin of satellite is related to transition between the states of doublet and multiple ionization. Considering that the incident electron beam striking the target of X-ray tube has sufficiently high energy and it ejects an electron from the K shell as well as from L shell, that results in holes in K and L shells, and such a state undergoes a radiative transition into any one of a number of other double ionization like Kl2, Ll, an electron dropping from L shell into K shell. The loss of energy due to emission of line in the transition Kl to Ll is greater than the normal K to L transition that gives rise to K alpha line. The other important source of satellite line is the Auger process. In this process, when an electron from an outer orbit make a transition to a hole in the core orbital, a photon is emitted that may be passed to another electron of outer orbit, leading to its ionization. Thus, a doubly ionized state is produced. For example, an electron from one of the higher shells. This infers that Auger effect produces a doubly ionized state that give rise to emission of satellites of L series.
Continuous X-ray emission. In addition to characteristic spectrum, a continuous spectrum of a different nature arises when X-rays are excited by electron. The continuous part of the spectrum is due to slowed down movement of an electron striking the target in the Coulomb field of the nucleus. The continuous spectrum has a sharp limit lambda naught on the lower wavelength side, whose value depends on the X-ray tube voltage and is independent of atomic number Z of the target element. The relationship between wavelength and X-ray tube voltage is already established as lambda is equal to Hc upon E is equal to Hc upon Ev. Below this short wavelength limit, no X-ray radiation is observed. Wavelength of maximum intensity lambda m is approximately 1.5 times lambda naught, and therefore we can write down lambda m v raised to the power 1 by 2 is equal to constant. Intensity of continuous X-ray is nearly proportional to the square of the voltage and to the first power of atomic number, that is I is equal to k z v square. K is constant of proportionality. The position of characteristic spectrum is independent of voltage of X-ray tube. So, it is to note that by raising voltage, the limit of continuous X-ray spectrum shifts towards shorter wavelength side.
X-ray absorption spectra. The intensity of rays becomes weaker because of absorption and scattering when a beam of X-ray passes through a sample. The absorption of X-ray emission energies occurs as a result of a single process. The X-ray photon knocks out electron of shell, and the energy of the absorbed photon is thus transformed into kinetic energy of the electron plus the potential energy of the excited atom, that equals binding energy of the electron. The X-ray emission line yields information on the difference in binding energies between two electronic states. However, to determine absolute binding energies, absorption of X-ray has to be studied. For such a purpose, an X-ray continuum is used and sample absorption as a function of wavelength is measured. the X-rays of longest wavelength force out electrons from the outer shell. With increasing energy of X-rays, that means decreasing wavelength, a small part of it is required to knock out the electron from the given shell. This causes the reduced absorption.
This decrease continued till the X-ray energy is sufficient to knock out electron from the next deeper lying inner shell and give rise to a sharp increase in absorption, as has been shown in the figure. It causes a discontinuous behavior of absorption mu with lambda. The discontinuous behavior of absorption and wavelength or frequency is called absorption edge and corresponds to photon critical energy. The absorption edges are labeled as K edge, L edge, M edge, etc. From the observed absorption edge, an approximate binding energy is obtained. For increasing energy of X-ray, the threshold for photoemission of deeper shells are reached and additional contributions to the total absorption are obtained, resulting in a number of edges. Apart from the edge, there is a general fall off in the absorption due to lambda cube dependence of the absorption coefficient, which is given by mu is equal to K rho lambda cube Z cube. The figure depicts the X-ray absorption spectrum with absorption edges. Here K is a constant and rho is the density. It is worth to learn that the soft X-rays are absorbed strongly in comparison with hard X-rays. The wavelength of the absorption edge is defined in terms of the orbital energy. Lambda K is equal to Hc upon Ek. The absorption edge exhibits fine structure corresponding to the fine structure of the core state. However, K edge also exhibits a structure that is due to discrete levels close to the series limit. Find the shortest wavelength fine structure corresponding to the fine structure of the core state. Potential is given to be 50 kilo electron volt. As we know that lambda minimum is equal to Hc upon Ev, we know charge of the electron. The potential is given to us 50 kilo electron volts, so it is 50,000 volts, and we know the value of H, it is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and we know the velocity of light c. So, it is the value comes out to be 0.0248 nanometers. Now, in the second assignment, what energy is needed to excite cadmium atoms? The Z is given to be 48, so that all series are observed. To observe all series, it is necessary to have a vacancy in K shell. The energy required to remove a K electron is nu bar is equal to R Z star square upon N square, writing the value of R and Z star square and taking N equal to 1, one gets the nu bar is equal to 2.4241 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter inverse, and as lambda is equal to 1 upon nu, the value comes out to be 0.4125 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter, and V is equal to Sc upon lambda E. Now, we have found lambda, we know the value of charge of the electron, we know H, we know C, and writing all these values and calculating, it gives us 30.06 kilo electron volt. The next assignment, what energy is required to excite cadmium atoms? Z is 48, so that L series X-rays are observed, and sigma is 7.4 for L series. For L series to be observed, there should be a vacancy in L shell. Therefore, energy required to remove the electron from the L shell is given by nu bar is equal to R into Z minus 7.4 square upon 4, writing the value of R. Z minus 7.4 is 40.6 square of it divided by 4 is equal to 4.522 into 10 to the power 7 centimeter inverse, and 1 electron volt is 8065.48 centimeter inverse. So, that V is equal to nu bar upon this electron value, and the result comes out to be 5.6067 kilo electron volt. That means, we need this much of the voltage and hence the energy to excite cadmium atoms to get the L series X-rays. Next assignment is, which element has K alpha X-ray line whose wavelength is 1541.23 XU. 1000 XU is 1.00202 angstrom and the wavelength lambda is equal to 1.54123 into 1.00202 angstrom is equal to 1.5443 angstrom. So, Z minus 1 square we can find out 786.8 and Z minus 1 therefore will be taking the under root of this, it is 28.05 and Z is 29. So, the element with atomic number Z29 is copper. Further, if K and L energy levels of an element lie at roughly 78 kilo electron volt and 12 kilo electron volt respectively, compute the approximate wavelength of K alpha line. What minimum potential difference across an X-ray tube is required to excite this line? At approximately what wavelength is the K absorption edge? So, for observing K alpha line, a vacancy has to be created in the K shell. The K level lie at 78 kilo electron volt. Therefore, this much potential difference has to be applied to remove the electron. The K alpha line is due to transition between K and L shells. The energy difference between these two is 78 minus 12, which is 66 kilo electron volt, and the wavelength corresponding to this much of the potential difference can be calculated from lambda is equal to SC upon E is equal to SC upon electron volt. It comes out to be 0.185 angstrom and the edge lambda K is equal to SC upon EK. So, this comes out to be 0.011589 nanometers.
So, summarizing, what we have learnt in this model is the origin of X-rays, emission spectra of X-ray, atomic number and the position of the emission lines, X-ray emission, that is the doublet spectra, satellite, continuous X-ray emission and X-ray absorption spectra. Thank you.